Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be trying out some new standard on MTG Arena. We are going to be trying out upgrading some existing decks for Brothers War. And we got a bunch of new cards, so we're going to be upgrading Mono Black, playing some cards. We tried this during early access, but I want to try just more in line with the current Invoke shell. We went a little bit more aggro during early access, but kind of the new cards we're getting are Razorlash Transmogrant. 2 mana, 3/1, can't block. 6 mana, you can return it from the graveyard to the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. Ability costs 4, less to activate if your opponent controls 4 or more non-basic lands. So we're kind of pairing it up with an Underdog, Evolved Sleeper, Akiba, because you want a lot of cheap creatures to draw cards with Gix. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to your opponent, you can pay a life and draw a card. For 7 mana, you can discard cards in your hands and play cards from your opponent's graveyard or library, but it's mostly card draw engine. We have Trespasser still in here. Go for the Throat, Infernal Grasp split. We might want more removal, but I'm going to try it out like this. Sheoldred, Invoke Despair on the top end, and Phyrexian Fleshgorger. It's a 3 mana spell that can also be a 7 mana spell. Lifelink, Ward, Menace, whole bunch of good stuff. We also got creature lands again in Mishra's Foundry. So we'll give this a go. I tried out a big mono red deck, and Invoke Despair and Farewell are still heavily played and kicking ass. So it's kind of annoying in that regard. I was hoping to, run into soldiers or run into like various aggro decks, and instead we just ran into a bunch of big things. We had like Gate to New Phyrexia going a couple games, and then we just got farewelled. So, can't do much there. We go first. I think this hand's fine. You can go Underdog into Trespasser, depending on how aggressive they are. Hopefully not blue-white control. Not loving running into blue-white control and drawing 2 removal spells. None of our creature lands either. Keep is not bad. So I could see a removal spell potentially out of them. Okay, so we get Destroy Evil out of the way now. Farewell going away is not too bad. Hopefully it's not Wandering Emperor. I'm going to hold up this because if in a pinch I'm going to hit my own creature. This is tricky because we didn't hit a land. This has utility afterwards. It's bad if they go like Tef. Sheoldred does force their hand, so maybe we just let it go. Okay, so taking at least 2 here. They could have like Depopulate. Seen Farewell out of them already. Or we just get Meek Stoned. That's annoying. Alright, give me a land. Give me a land. Land me! It's gonna be one of those days. Teferi's like really scary.
The entire multiverse is at stake. I won't back down. Nobody knows the past better than me.
So we'll get rid of you. Just because that can get bigger. This lets me attack into Teferi. So this can bait out a spell potentially. Ah, I'm dumb. I should have... I screwed that up.
Back off.
I forgot they can draw off that. I'm in trouble! Stop drawing and go for the throats. That's dumb. I screwed that up. They should have had both Planeswalkers off the battlefield. Hopefully they get greedy. Make another token here.
There's that handsome devil.
So Blast Zone can be popped for 1. Now we're drawing all the lands, of course. Jeez. Just trying to kill this now. The problem is... It's fine, we're dead. I punted that. If we played it properly, if we saw the line there, we go after shoot. Like, we're in a much better spot because now we're fighting over this Teferi. Teferi unchecked is going to be a problem. We missed Invoke too many turns. It might have been right. So we're seeing a lot more of this blue-white deck. So that's something to keep in mind. I was expecting a lot more creature decks, and this is why we're playing these early matches to see what's working, what's not. Okay, Sam looks good. 1, 2, 3 curve. Because the thing is, I've been excluding Liliana in a lot of these lists because I anticipate there being more Planeswalkers or more creature decks. Liliana's not great in terms of an aggro meta. But what we might want to do is like trim a Dreadnought, trim like, or just get rid of the Akibas. Because Akiba, it's kind of underwhelming. Like we can cut one of these, go up one of these, go 2 Lilianas, and like 2 cut downs maybe. Because the problem is then like what do you do against... Like, we get these games where, like, we drew 4 direct... We only have 4 removal spells. We drew all 4. And while they're somewhat useful... Yeah, they're our opponent. Let's just see if it's me or them. This is the part where, like... You're trying to make meta calls early, and like generally more linear decks do well, so I'm kind of surprised to see control. But like Farewell goes over the top. So we have a couple options here. We can Infernal Grasp plus Pump. We can Trespasser. Really depends on what they play to the board here. Okay, so this could be another control deck. Just play like Rafine. Really wish we hit a land there. Lets me pump or play a... Well, we wouldn't have had a Kiba, but... So, we really need to hit this land. It's been games where it's either been nothing but lands or none. I think we need to... We don't have the legendary count to play Plaza of Heroes in the deck, plus it screws up Invoke Despair. I think that's largely fine. I can go pump, pump, pump. I think we just go Sheoldred here. They could have a removal spell, but this offsets the life gain.
Time or place, I'm ready to win. Knowledge is meant to be shared.
Just go face. Face doesn't really work, so I gotta take Teferi off the battlefield here. That's fine.
Mind is willing, but the body, it hurts.
We hit him down a little bit more here. Oh. When in doubt, Teferi number 2.
Heard you needed a hero. Well, here I am. Who's that handsome devil?
Can really use this land anytime soon. 6. They're going to gain some life that way. Teferi kind of does that. I could go face and just kind of force the issue here. I think that's where we're at now. Takes all our mana for the turn. But now they're gonna lose life.
Knowledge is meant to be shared.
Kiba comes down. I think we just force. And then they're dead. Got him. Got him, got him, got him. Okay, I think, like, the Akibas have been pretty terrible. We need a little bit more action. Haven't drawn Gix yet. What's wrong with the client? What's wrong with the client? We're trying things out. Kiba has not done anything. So cut the Akibas, go Liliana. Play that. And then probably cut down. So cut down hits the early plays. Honestly, it's probably just another go for the throat and another line. We can go Roadside Reliquary. We have artifacts. No enchantments. We can go the Field of Ruin. We can go Blast Zone. Do I want 5 colorless lands? That's a consideration. It's a bit pushing. You can go a second Takenuma. Don't hate that. Maybe we do. Alright, let's try that out. With the Razorlash, we can go a 4th copy. I kind of like Gix. We might have too many 3-drops right now. Gix on its own isn't great, and it's legendary, so maybe we drop 2 and go up to the Razorlash. Gix is kind of, you want a board state already. Opponent goes first. 2-3. I love every time there's an update, you just lose all the text on this card. I think this is fine. You have a creature land. Looks like a Mire. Hopefully they got greedy with the land and just attack. Is this an artifact? No! Super punished. I think we go Trespasser here. If they have Sheoldred, I gotta kill it, but I could play my own Sheoldred. Play draw's been really awkward here. I guess I should have. Could have killed it, but then we're taking some damage. Fleshgorger line would have been better. That's fine. I can kill Sheoldred on upkeep. Why didn't it give me a chance? Oh my god. So apparently that's a thing now. So I should be at 2 more life. It took off the stop on upkeep for Sheoldred. So we sack here, and they kill me. So we would have been alive, and then I could have invoked Despair them. Okay, so keep in mind, go for the throat with Sheoldred. The trigger is off. That's super frustrating. We have at least a turn. We can draw some cards, maybe stabilize. We lose that game to kind of the Mire. Okay, we'll keep this. Okay. First of the creature decks. I think we're just going to trade aggressively here. I'm not going to have time with, like, if we were on the play maybe, because we could pump, but we see Thalia here. Play this out. Next turn I have Infernal Grasp, potentially catch them in a double block situation. And if they don't double block, then I play out Trespasser. So Mire basically can't cast stuff during their turn. To be honest, it might be worth killing that. Just because they're going to get enough blockers that way. They can hit me for 4, but I'm getting 3 life a turn. Alright. Fleshgorger on curve just can't be beat. So it was right to take that out. Like, that's honestly the type of deck I was expecting to run into. Instead, we get nothing but control. Decent curve. Lily probably is a minus. Teferi's been really impressive. It's very hard to deal with it once it resolves. Like differentiating my threats early. We might have fallen into the budget tier. I don't want to... This is part of the reason I don't like Liliana. Like, in this format, if they don't play on curve, you don't necessarily want a plus. And because we're up onto the Invoke. Well, we have Underdogs and the Soul Slasher, whatever it's called. Okay, so here it's going to be good. We get the Lily minus here. It's like black-white humans. Okay, and they Tap out. And we can follow it up with Invoke.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows. Off you go.
So even if they go Wandering Emperor here, they're taking a chunk, I can invoke them. Get that value. This game's gone actually very smoothly. Because like cut downs, not going to do huge amounts against some of these cards that we're seeing now, like 3/3s coming out for 3. Opponent's in the tank. Which card will they discard? Lethal with the land here. We got Invoke, we got Underdog, we got him dead a few different ways. Okay, recovering a bit. It's been one instance where the Go for the Throats hurt us. The Mishra land is also a consideration. So we might want to see, playing with that, how it works out. Opponent goes first, 2, 3. Got some options. Okay, got some Jeskai. Don't love seeing bunch of control and me drawing 2 of my 4 removal spells. Syncopate sucks. I gotta keep pushing out threats here. How do you play like this? Is such a play draw deck, because the thing is, if you're playing against like these creature decks, they're just gonna get under you. Problem is, like, they can have Wandering Emperor here. Probably gonna have to just Gix and try to draw a card here, but they're gonna Deluge. Way too much control. And you don't see that often. Like, day 1, day 2, like, control comes out later once you know what the meta is. I don't see how... Like, if we're on mono red, if we're on mono white, if we're on the enchantments deck, you're just hoping for farewell? Let's go Fleshgorger here. If they use their sweeper there, it bodes pretty well. If I could draw a land, then I can Gix and do that. But we're making like no progress. We're running out of cards. They got Deluge to come back. So I think like lessons from day 1 is just be prepared for control. In between Farewell and Wandering Emperor, you're going to exile all your recursive threats. Okay, If they main phase Deluge, that's good. Means they're missing a land. They could have March, they could have a Braid, they could have a couple answers, but they have to decide between hitting my land, my Phyrexian Fleshgorger, or my Yawg. This is part of the problem. Like in those other matchups, we needed these removal spells, but now we're just drawing these dead. Okay, well, they keep deluging, but they're likely going to find more like Fires of Victory, stuff like that. They've seen 6 extra cards. See if these lines can carry. Like, these lines have been a great addition. We need like an Invoke Despair maybe. Gets us back in. Lily. Like, you just have to assume they have... Jeez. Can't really do much if you're just drawing removal. Get greedy. Get greedy.
Then guide it like water.
Okay, we didn't get greedy.
Done.
That's the problem. Now I gotta try to deal with this Wandering Emperor.
Remember your training.
Just kill this. So they could have another Emperor here, like they're gonna gain 4 life off each of these. Gotta take this off the battlefield. Pass the turn. We'll Takenuma on end step. No sense of giving them the information. They're going to deluge here. Super excited to get farewelled. I wonder, like, I'm assuming they're still on farewell, but we've seen 4 deluges. Like, just very greedy. Probably signifies sweeper. I'm gonna go Trespasser here. It's a 2-for-1 and I can start eating Deluges in the yard. How are you playing just like this much counterspell? Like anything result, you're really banking on those burn downs. I just want to attack him with creatures. Why is there so much control tonight? The problem here is it's like they've shown one Wandering Emperor. I'm assuming they're on the big crab. Just every exile-based removal spell possible. So I'm doing this so I can get it back. But they're gonna Memory Deluge here. No, I'm done. I'm not having fun, and our fun is worth more than what's ever happening here. Let's give this one more, see how it goes. I think we're like 3-3 with it. If we're seeing this much control, we need to rebuild how we have this deck. Invoke Despair is fine, but when they're bringing that much in terms of removal... Okay, let's try this out. It's a bit slower. Now we're naturally going to get like mono red. Could be mono blue. Yeah, we're 3-3. Let's see if we can break it to at least the 50%. So I can go Delver, I can go Trespasser. Let's see what they do here. Because like this is better, but I'd rather use it for a big thing. I think I'd rather use this right now. Because this makes Hadijin worse. It makes the Tolarian Terror worse. Delver not flip. Delver not flip. Perfect. You know what? I should have done it pre-combat because if they had a counter spell. So they slip out here. I think we just do this. Sheoldred has more value. We can get it to resolve. Okay, second Delver. They're trying to race. I think here we go Sheoldred. Because then I do want my Fleshgorger to resolve. No flips? Ah, they flipped. And they gotta make disappear. So they're hitting me for 7 here. So this is good because I can force them to either, like either way they got a sack. And I can just choose not to pay. And then I can underdog. So decline. I think we do this because it just puts them towards lethal anyways. Because now I have 2 threats plus this Mishra's Foundry. Stunt on them. Mono black has always had a good mono blue matchup. You can get all these recursive creatures. We'd have to like reconsider how we build this if control is more prevalent, and I'm kind of holding off on it. I think this configuration's fine. Honestly, I would probably like trim this, go up this. This Razorlash just being recursive seems good. I'm just playing, well, it can't block, it's a good clock, and it gives you more fodder for Liliana. I think you still have your Invokes, you have your Fleshgorger, so I'd probably play it out like that. This is probably how I'd keep it. The Gix on its own doesn't do much, doesn't do anything when it comes to the battlefield, it requires you to attack, so I kind of leave it like this. This line continues to be very good, but it's really was just in the control matchup. This might be better served ultimately as Sorin. Playing in the 4-drop slot gives you recursive card advantage, doesn't get hit by Farewell, can give you lifelink tokens as well. So this one I'm still on the fence of whether or not it's something you're going to want. I think this is reasonable. The removal options you'll have to consider as well. But is for the day. Let me know what you think. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.